We are taught the same equation from childhood, that sheer physical exhaustion is the necessary price of financial success. The cultural assumption is that the more you suffer and the harder you grind, the more you will eventually accumulate. Yet the observable reality on the ground immediately contradicts this role. We see manual laborers and agricultural workers expending every ounce of their physical vitality daily, only to remain at the very bottom of the economic ladder. This disconnect persists even in our modern landscape. Millions of office workers commit decades to an endless cycle of overtime and mental fatigue, yet they never see that effort translate into true financial autonomy. If the formula sweat equals wealth were an absolute law of physics, the hardest working people on this planet would be the most prosperous. But they aren't. This suggests the universally accepted formula for success is missing its most important component. Physical effort is merely a source of fuel. It cannot provide its own destination. We often mistake motion for progress. This is blind effort, the act of expending massive amounts of energy without a strategic trajectory. Like a gear spinning at 10,000 RPMs, but disconnected from the drive belt, it generates heat and wear while achieving nothing. Most people stay on this treadmill because of a deep-seated fear of falling behind. That panic keeps them in a state of continuous, unthinking motion, leaving no room to actually observe the path they are on. The missing variable is conscious awareness. It is the ability to stop, analyze the mechanism of your work, and provide it with a deliberate direction before you apply the force of your labor. 1,000 frantic steps in a tangled knot will leave you exactly where you started, only more exhausted. But a single calculated action, taken with total clarity, can move you further than a year of blind running. While labor provides the energy, it is directional awareness that creates the result. Without a mind capable of navigating toward an objective, a body is merely spending its life force on friction. Operating from a constant state of survival creates mental static. When your mind is focused solely on the panic of competition or the fear of lack, it loses the ability to perform the high-level analysis required to build a business or a career. Using your brain for wealth generation isn't about being clever or deceptive. It is about maintaining absolute clarity. It requires the presence to see opportunities exactly as they are, rather than reacting to how you fear they might turn out. When you work solely to survive, you treat your labor as a heavy obligation. You become a prisoner to the immediate struggle, making it impossible to step back and redesign the process to be more efficient or profitable. Decisions made in a rush of insecurity almost always lead to permanent setbacks. You can work 18-hour days to try and outrun a bad decision, but the effort will never overcome the flaw in the original choice. This mental chaos acts as a blindfold. It prevents you from recognizing the very solutions and partnerships that would normally lift you out of your grueling daily labor. In economic terms, capital behaves as a fluid system of energy. It is constantly circulating through the market, seeking out the points of highest efficiency and stability. Resources naturally move toward areas of least resistance. This means they flow toward environments where decisions are clear, risks are calculated, and management is calm and focused. A mindset rooted in scarcity and jealousy creates a literal dam in this flow. When a person is too afraid of loss to take an educated risk, or too envious to learn from a competitor, they create internal blockages that stop resources from ever reaching them. Replacing that fear with internal focus dissolves those blockages. By quieting the panic, you become more effective at identifying opportunities and managing assets. Your mind stops leaking energy and starts acting as a stable conduit for the resources moving through the market. When you stop fighting your work and begin observing it with intention, the quality of your decisions improves. That elevated output naturally attracts the capital necessary to scale it. Your financial reality is often a mirror reflecting your internal state. If your mind is cluttered, your bank account reflects that lack of order. This is why an anxious person who suddenly receives a large sum of money rarely finds peace. The sudden wealth only amplifies their fear of loss, leading to erratic decisions that usually return them to where they started. Sustainable wealth cannot be built on a foundation of desperation. If your primary driver is a constant comparison to others, you will always be too distracted to see the unique path right in front of you. Stop the rush. Audit your daily actions and ask if they are fueled by a plan or just by a fear of standing still. Shift your priority from increasing your velocity to achieving absolute clarity. True intelligence is found in cultivating a mind that understands the mechanics of wealth, rather than exhausting a body in a frantic attempt to chase it.